Ooh, it's a time for the package from China. Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you are tuning in. So in this video we are going to take a close look at the Super Console X stick. Yeah, in the previous video we have spoken about the console itself, but they already released a stick. So it's based on the 905X chipset, and the question remains, does it have chemical smelly controllers? So let's find out. Okay, so this is what we're going to get inside the package itself. It comes with two controllers. The controllers are just the normal quality controllers from our friends from China. This thing feels slightly better than the ones I have reviewed before. And still, yep, it's freaking chemical. Both controllers will come with a dongle that you need to connect with the stick itself at the back. We're also going to get an extra USB hub. These things are freaking cheap, really horrible. I don't like them, I don't recommend using them. Of course, it comes with an extra CF card. I have no idea where it's for. Very weird brand, never seen it. But it's an 8GB, but also what is very interesting that it comes with a 128GB extra. And this is basically where the EMU is installed on, but we'll see in the later part of the video. Okay, here we're having the USB to micro USB cable with a switch. Not like the Nintendo Switch, just the Switch. We're having here the 5V power brick, just a basic brick that you're going to get with your mobile phone. It's quite light, by the way. An extension cord for HDMI. I'm very pleased to give it with you because these things are just huge, and some of the television will give you a problem, so you can just take it in. So you're going to need the extension cable. With this version we're also going to get an air remote, very convenient, because in the end this is just an Android box. We're going to get the cheap toilet paper manual for the controller, and not to forget the deluxe edition for the box itself. So this is what you're going to get inside the package itself. So in the previous video we have spoken a lot about the Super Console X, and the Super Console X stick is basically, or better said, almost the same. There are some differences in the specifications, so let's talk about that. Alright guys, so let's do a quick ETA Prime moment and let's talk about the specs of the Super Console X stick. The Super Console X stick has a dual boot option. It comes with EMU 3.9 on a separate SD card, and having also the option to use it just like an Android box that we're, by the way, not going to talk about today in this video. It has an S905X chip. That's basically a CPU quad-core ARM Cortex 1.5 GHz with a CPU that is a Mali 450 1GB or DDR RAM memory. It's a little bit too, let's say, too less for the high-end stuff. I wish they gone with the 2GB, and has a storage capacity of 8GB eMMC. When booting up the system without an SD card, this is the result, because basically the Super Console X stick is just an Android stick, and this is what you're going to get in the end. And you can also use it like an Android box this way, therefore we're also going to get the air remote. Okay, so let's try out the 8GB stick. Every time when you boot up the system, they did the reflashing of the intro. You can see we're going to get the brand that basically makes these things, the Kinhank Game Retro Store. Okay, so it also shows the M-Box logo, make your life colorful. And let's see when it's booting up what kind of result we're going to get with the 8GB card. When booted up, you can see that basically it's still booted up in the original Android, and there is no extra information on the 8GB card that will give us access to different options. So let's go further with the 128GB card and let's see what happens then. And we're going to use the 128GB card. It will boot up EMU and also will represent us with a very awesome intro. So let's take a close look at this. Let's take a close look at the menu and what are we going to get in the end, because I'm very curious how different is this one compared with the normal retro game system from Super Console X. After the system having booted up, we're going to get a slightly different menu or a skin for the EMU on the Super Console X stick. I must say I really prefer this one because it looks very clean, and we're going to get these decals are popping up. But when it comes to the compatibility, what kind of system that we're going to get, basically we're going to get the really old stuff like the Amiga, so the Atari, stuff that we don't see on the Pandora's box. We're having also a lot of handhelds like the Lynx, Game Boy, we're having the Atomiswave like the arcade stuff, Sega Dreamcast, but in the end we're going to have a lot of different emulators and a lot of different stuff that we basically can play on the Super Console X. If it runs perfectly, that's something we're going to also find out in this video. I will do some more extended stuff on my second channel, where I will do some more testing on this device. How good are the games running, because otherwise this video would be more like an hour long. But I still wanted to give you a quick look at some two-dimensional stuff. First up, let's try Sonic on the Game Boy Advance. Time for some 90s 16-bit with the Beefcake Boys becoming Wolfie. But even for a low spec Android box, this thing does run the Mame games pretty good. And 64 will be a mixed bag, and the game, one of my favorite games, Cruise on the USA, doesn't work that great. It's the same story like the previous model, and also with the Pi. But not every game runs that horrible like this one. Okay, so let's do a quick different game of the N64, and you will see that this game is playable and we can have a lot of fun with it. So, and again, it's just a mixed bag when it comes to N64. But we have reached the point with these Android boxes that we finally can play PlayStation 1. Like Bloody Roar 2, that has a lot of issues with an Orange Pi or low-end stuff, it runs just fine on the Super Console stick. Okay, so when it comes to PPSSPP or the PSP emulator, it's kind of a mixed bag, and even with two-dimensional basic stuff you see a lot of glitching and a lot of problems. So when it comes to PSP, I'm not a big fan of it when it comes even with a Super Console X in general, and it also includes the stick itself. Atomiswave is a great example that this is just pushing this device to the limit, and this game runs pretty choppy and not on the full FPS. My buddy Amy Chicken did a video on the second channel regarding this, and sadly due of the 1 GB of memory that we're having, it still will struggle with every single Super Console X at the moment. When you're going to grab this thing out of the box, you will see that Sega Dreamcast doesn't run that great. In combination with the Dreamcast, it's a little bit of a bummer, and you will notice a lot of glitching and a lot of frame drops. So when it comes to the Sega Dreamcast, it's just a mixed bag. Hopeful maybe with the 4.0 update, if you can get it running, in combination with the Dream, we can have some better Sega Dreamcast emulation performance. But for now, out of the box, it's not great. Not great at all.
Forget to take advantage of those subs. Let the battle begin. Go!
Okay guys, so let's wrap up this video. So the Super Console X stick, is this the next generation when it comes to the emulation power? No, not really, because high-end stuff doesn't run that great. The same goes with the other Super Console X products. To go check out the reviews on my channel. But yeah, this is what you can expect for your money. It's still not a very expensive product. If you're going to get, let's say, more like an Intel chip inside, they are going to be way expensiver, and then we're having a big performance boost. So let me know in the comments what do you think of this. I want to thank you for watching. Consider subscribing, hit the little bell, become one of the Wicked family, and I will see you in the next video.